Hello, my dear English learners. It is so wonderful to have you back here on Enjoy English Stories. I am truly happy that you decided to spend your time practicing with me today. Are you ready for a story that is both creative and very unusual? Today, we are going to travel to the heart of New York City. We are going to meet a girl named Jade. She lives in a world made of concrete, glass, and metal, but she finds a secret way to bring nature back to life. As always, we are going to use the shadowing technique. This is a very powerful way to improve your English. Remember, do not just listen. You must speak at the same time as me. Try to copy my emotions, my rhythm, and the way I breathe. If I sound surprised, you should sound surprised too. If I sound happy, you should sound happy too. Today's story is full of useful vocabulary about the city, environmental protection, plants, and secrets. It will help you build your confidence and make your pronunciation much clearer. Are you ready to discover the secret of the sky forest? Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's begin. My name is Jade. I am 23 years old. I live in the middle of a very big and very busy world. I live in New York City, specifically in a famous neighborhood called Brooklyn. New York is a city that never stops. It is a city made of hard bricks, cold glass, and heavy metal. Everywhere you look, there is something moving. There are yellow taxis, giant blue buses, and thousands of cars. The air is full of noise, sirens, shouting, and the constant hum of engines. Sometimes, when I stand in the middle of a street, it feels like there is no room for anything soft. It feels like there is no room for anything green. I work as a bicycle messenger. This means my job is to ride my bike through the chaotic traffic every single day. I deliver packages to giant glass offices and small, dark apartments. I ride my bike in the hot sun and in the freezing rain. Every day, I see thousands of people. I see them running to the subway. I see them walking fast to their meetings. But I notice something sad. No one ever stops. No one ever looks up at the sky. No one ever stops to look at a small flower growing in a crack in the sidewalk. People are always in a hurry. They are always looking down at their holographic phones. They are always thinking about the next minute, but never about the present moment. But I am different. I love plants more than anything in the world. My small apartment in Brooklyn is like a tiny jungle. I don't have much furniture, but I have plants everywhere. I have green ferns on my wooden table. I have small, prickly cacti on my window. I even have a small lemon tree in the corner of my bedroom. I spend my evenings talking to them and giving them water. But deep inside, I want more. I don't just want a few plants in a room. I want to see a real forest in the middle of the city. I want to see trees touching the clouds. One Tuesday afternoon, my life changed forever. I was delivering a very heavy package to an old, abandoned factory near the East River. This part of the city is very grey and very ugly. The factory was a giant building made of dark red bricks. All the windows were broken. The metal doors were covered in rust. It looked like a place where nothing could live. But as I was locking my bicycle, I looked up. High above me, at the very top of the building, I saw something strange. For a second, I thought my eyes were playing a trick on me. I saw a flash of bright, vibrant green. It was moving in the wind. I was very curious. I am the kind of person who cannot ignore a mystery. I walked around the building until I found a small, rusted metal ladder on the side of the wall. My heart was beating fast. I started to climb. I climbed higher and higher. I climbed past the broken windows. I climbed past the dirty walls. The wind was getting stronger. When I finally reached the roof, I stopped. I gasped so loudly that a bird flew away. I could not believe my eyes. I thought I was dreaming. The roof was not empty. It was not a flat piece of grey concrete. It was a garden. But no, it was more than a garden. It was a wild, beautiful, and secret forest. There were tall sunflowers that looked like small suns. There were thick, green vines of ivy covering the chimneys. There was even a small apple tree with tiny green fruits. I saw colourful butterflies dancing in the air. I heard the busy sound of bees. It was a secret world, hidden 100 feet above the noise and the trash of the city. In the middle of this forest, I saw an old man. He was wearing a simple straw hat and bright green gloves. He was holding a blue watering can, and he was talking to some beautiful blue flowers. He looked very peaceful, like a king in his own green kingdom. "Hello," I said very quietly. I didn't want to break the magic. The man looked up. He didn't look angry or surprised. He had a very kind face with many wrinkles around his eyes. "Hello, Jade," he said with a warm voice. I was completely shocked. "How do you know my name?" I asked. "I see you every day," he said, smiling. "I see you on your bicycle. You are the only person in Brooklyn who stops to look at the trees in the park. You are the only one who notices the flowers. I knew that one day you would find this place. I have been waiting for you." The man's name was Arthur. He told me his story as we sat on old wooden boxes among the sunflowers. Arthur was a botanist for 40 years. He studied plants all over the world. When he retired, he didn't want to leave the city, but he could not live without nature. So, he decided to start a project. He called it the Sky Forest. For 5 years, Arthur collected seeds from every place he visited. He brought soil up the ladder, bag by bag. He planted everything here, in the sky. "The city needs to breathe, Jade," he said, looking at the grey skyscrapers in the distance. "But the ground is too full of concrete. The ground is for cars and pipes. So, we must plant in the sky. We must give the birds and the bees a home above the smoke." Arthur and I became very close friends. Every day, as soon as I finished my deliveries, I raced to the factory. I climbed the ladder with a smile on my face. I helped him pull the weeds. I helped him plant new seeds from exotic places. Arthur was a wonderful teacher. He taught me the Latin names of all the plants. He taught me how to listen to the soil to know if it was thirsty. He taught me about the secret language of trees. But most importantly, he taught me that even in a city of 10 million people, you can always find a place to be quiet. You can always find a place to be yourself. But then, one morning, we got terrible news. A giant construction company had bought the old factory. They didn't care about history. They didn't care about nature. They wanted to destroy the building. They wanted to build a giant luxury apartment building made of glass and steel. They wanted to destroy the sky forest to make room for a swimming pool for rich people. Arthur was heartbroken. He sat among his sunflowers and he cried. "I am too old to fight a giant company, Jade," he said. "I am just one man with a watering can. They have lawyers. They have millions of dollars. The forest is finished. I looked at the sunflowers, and then I looked at the grey city below. I felt a fire in my heart. No, Arthur, I said. I'm not too old. And I am not afraid. I decided to take a huge risk. I knew that I could not fight them with money, but I could fight them with stories. I used my social media. I took my camera to the roof. I took beautiful, high-quality pictures of every corner of the sky forest. I took pictures of the butterflies on the apple blossoms. I took a video of Arthur talking to his blue flowers. I posted the photos and the videos online. I told the story of the old botanist and his secret garden in the sky. I asked the people of New York a very simple question. Do we want more concrete, or do we want to breathe? Do we want more luxury apartments, or do we want a place for the birds? The story went viral. It was like a wildfire. Within 24 hours, thousands of people had shared my photos. People were shocked. They didn't know that such a beautiful, magical place existed in their grey city. They started a petition. They wrote letters to the mayor. 1 week later, hundreds of people went to the city hall. They were holding signs that said, "Save the sky forest. And nature belongs to everyone." They were shouting for the garden. The big construction company was very surprised. They didn't think anyone cared about an old, broken roof. They didn't think people would fight for a few plants. But the city government listened to the people. They saw the passion. They saw the beauty. They made a historic decision. They decided to save the building. They turned the old factory into a public park, the first elevated forest park in Brooklyn. The sky forest was safe. Now, the factory is a famous place. People come from all over the world to climb the stairs. We have stairs now, not just a ladder. They walk through the garden in the sky. They breathe the fresh air and they look at the view of the river. Arthur is the head gardener of the park. He wears his straw hat every day, and he is very happy. And me? I don't deliver packages anymore. Now, I have a new job. I am the seed messenger. I travel around the city and I help people start their own gardens on their own roofs. I deliver seeds and hope to every corner of New York. I am Jade, and I learned a very important lesson. I learned that beauty is always worth fighting for. Even in a world of grey concrete, you can find green life. You just have to be brave. You just have to look up. Wow! What a powerful and moving story. Jade is a true hero of the city, isn't she? She showed us that one person can make a giant difference if they have a clear voice and a green heart. Did you enjoy the story of the sky forest? I hope it inspired you to look for beauty in your own city. Now, it is time for the most important part of our lesson. The shadowing practice. Go back to the very beginning of Jade's story. Play the video again and repeat every single sentence after me. Don't worry if it is difficult at first. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe to enjoy English stories for more adventures. Tell me in the comments. Do you have a small garden at home? Or do you have a favorite park in your city? I love reading your answers and hearing about your lives. Thank you for practicing with me today. You are doing a great job. See you in the next story. Goodbye.